We're going to cover how to sharpen your knives using the Smith Tri-Hone stone, which is actually a pretty nice feature to use. This side I've got the fine, I've got the medium stone on this side, I've got the coarse on this side. Now with this knife, it needs a little bit of work but not too much, so I'm just going to stay with the fine side of the stone here. I'm going to put some oil on the stone to get it nice and wet. Go ahead and get that worked in. There we go. Now what's really nice about this too is that it comes with this little guide here, and the guide is actually a 23-degree angle. It's what's called a sharpening guide. You can put it all on your stone and it'll give you that little reference point to use. So I'm just going to go nice and even. I'm going to do probably 10 on this side and 10 on the other. And as I'm going forward, I'm also twisting to make sure that I'm able to get the entire blade at one time, so I don't have to go back and do it a second time. Alright, go ahead and flip it around. Now I'm going to do the other side. Alright, now I'm going to wipe off some of the excess oil. Fill my blade, and it does feel like it could use the stone or the steel. So I'm just going to run it on the steel a couple of times. Now the thing about this, when you use the steel, you do still want to maintain that angle. And go ahead and check it out. I could use a little bit more. This knife's really taken a beating over the years too. Looking at my stone, it's looking a little dry, so I'm going to put a little bit more oil on. Now you don't always have to go in the same direction too. You can turn it around as you go, but make sure you do even strokes each time you do this too. But my preference is I do like to go, say, 10 times on the right side and then 10 times on the left side.
Hang on, there you go. When you sharpen a knife, you always want to hold it at a 45-degree angle, whether you're using the steel or you're using the stone. And you always want to use some kind of lubricant with your stone, whether it be oil, honing oil, or water. So a lot of times I just use water because it's easy access. Now what I'm doing here with the steel is I'm doing the same thing that a butcher or a barber would do. I'm maintaining a 45-degree angle the best that I can. And it's also safer doing it this way because you're taking the blade away from you. You're not putting yourself in danger by doing this. This is at this angle, what I do only if my knife is real dull, and I take it very slow and very careful. But a sharpened steel, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to go. It'll fine-tune your blade just the way you want it. And once I get done with this, I normally use a belt or any kind of leather strap that I can find. A used belt is perfect because most people have one hanging around their closet. What I'll do is I'll take a little bit of water and put on that belt, and I actually make a loop and wrap it around my foot and hold it as tight as I can. And I do the same motions as I'm doing here today. Hopefully I can help some of you to get your knife nice and sharp and keep it safe. Have a great day.
As a finisher for your knife sharpening, I like to use a regular old leather belt. So what I'll do is I'll loop it around my foot and take the end, go ahead and put it through the belt buckle, and then and with this belt I could use either side. So with this one I'm just going to wet the leather a little bit with some water. You don't have to use a large amount of water or anything by any means. And just like what a barber would do right before they do a hot shave on somebody back in the day, except with this, you want to maintain that angle, but you also don't want to cut towards you. You want to have the blade facing down and then bring it towards you. When you do the other side, you want to go down with the blade towards you, but you don't want to cut into your belt. You'll end up with a mess, and you'll be out a nice little leather strap to sharpen your knives on. Now this can actually be pretty field expedient also. You know, if you don't have your sharpening steel with you while you're out on the hunt, you could easily take your belt off and use that as a platform if you needed to go ahead and sharpen your knives. And actually, this is getting a little dry. With that again. And I'm not adding a lot of force or a ton of pressure to this either as I go. You know, just nice, even strokes. But you also want to maintain that 23 to 45 degree angle on this as you come to. There we go. And that's how you sharpen your knives for big game hunts, or, you know, even in the kitchen. Personally, this is my favorite way of doing it. I'd rather use this than some of the stuff that you see advertised for culinary. But it does come out pretty sharp, comes out very nice. It does work on knives that are difficult to get a good edge on also. I've had this buck knife for years, and it's been through quite a bit, but it still holds a pretty decent edge.